Okay, today we're doing a little shit up between wines from California, Chardonnay specifically, and Chardonnay from France, its place of origin. Here to talk about the California Chards is Jeff Schroeder.
Hello. Well, we have a few Chardonnays here that I've selected from California that I think are great examples of the California style. First I think in a lot of people's minds is Rumbauer. This is kind of nicknamed as the benchmark of butter. It's one of those Chardonnays that's lush, rich, very fruit forward. It's coming out of the Carneros district, which is generally a little cooler climate region. It straddles both Sonoma and Napa counties, but has the cooling effect of the San Pablo Bay, just north of San Francisco. Maintains a little bit more of an acidic balance, but this one is just loaded with creamy, apple, oaky notes. This doesn't pull any punches. This is just full-blown California style, lush and rich. Artie, do you want to take a couple, or should I just continue with my whole line?
You're doing great. Continue on.
All right. One that I think, one of my current favorites is from Chalk Hill. This is the Sonoma Coast Chardonnay from them. What I like about this one is that it's got a lot of that Californian style, rich notes of pear, yellow apple, butterscotch, and vanilla coming from that toasted oak, but a little sense of some minerality and acidity from some cooler coastal climates there in the Sonoma Coast. A little bit of fruit is coming from Alexander Valley and the lower Sonoma Valley as well. It's generous, but nicely balanced, and I think really exemplifies the soil and climate of the Sonoma region. Last, I have Ventana coming out of Monterey, Arroyo Seco region there. Has a close proximity to the Pacific Ocean, so it has some cooling ocean breezes, but this is a warmer climate a little further south, just inland from Monterey, and this is going to give you those classic Central Coast flavors of tropical fruit. It's got a lot of mango, just pineapple, and just really that tropical fruit-forward style. It does have some little backing oak and a little acidity to it, but just a great version of that Central Coast style from California.
What are the approximate prices of all these?
Well, Rumbauer is pushing that $40 mark. This is maybe not your everyday wine, but great for entertaining or if you want to splurge a little bit. It is luscious and generous, so it's a few bucks. This is $22.99, which I think is a good value, especially from Chalk Hill. Most of their wines are a good amount more expensive, generally in the $40 range. Another thing I liked about their Sonoma Coast release was its affordability. And Ventana is coming in at $13, very affordable.
Okay. Well, as we know, Chardonnay originated in France, and they've had centuries to figure that out and get it right. So there are all different styles of Chardonnay, but the best comes from the Burgundy area, and we've got all different parts of Burgundy. We've got south, north, and middle. We're going to start with Domaine Drouhin. This is a big négociant. In other words, they buy grapes from others, but they're very high quality, and this is a Mâcon Village, which is from the southern part of Burgundy. It's only $12.99, so it fits that $13 range as well. 100% stainless steel. This is not going to be oaky. It's going to have some really nice mineral notes, good crisp acidity. So that's what I look for in these Mâcon wines. We're offering a really good deal because they're high quality, yet they're inexpensive. Often they do not have oak on them. So if you're looking for a big oak bomb, you have to go elsewhere in Burgundy to find it. Then we go to the far north of Burgundy, and this is an area called Chablis. 100% Chardonnay. It's one of the greatest examples of Chardonnay. Their soils are made with fossils called Kimmeridgian soils, and this is what it's called a Premier Cru. So in Burgundy, they classify vineyards as either Premier Cru or Grand Cru, or just recognize a vineyard by its name without any cru status. And that's an outgrowth of the church-owned lands where they were. Grand Crus were like the Pope's wine, and Premier Crus were like the Bishop's wine. Really great sites. So this is from a Premier Cru called Montemilieu. A lot of oyster shell notes on it, really crisp, a little bit of lemon, hint of the tropical that you were talking about with the Central Coast wine. Really crisp, great oyster wine too, really good. Then, for something completely different, I'm sorry I went off the charts in terms of the cost scale. This baby weighs in at about $143, but let me tell you something. If you ever wondered why, if you ever scratched your head and said, what's the big deal about Chardonnay? Why was everyone going nuts about it? It's because it's one of the great grapes, noble grapes in the world. It shows terroir, where it's from. It shows noble rot, if you allow it to get that. It really ages very well. And this baby is from a Grand Cru called Corton Charlemagne. And let me tell you something, it's not something you're going to often have a chance to try, but it will blow your mind, because this is one sensational, powerful example of what Chardonnay can be at its finest.